Hello everyone, PuzzleAndLight here with another video. This is my first box review of my box review series, and the first submission was sent to me by Sarf. Through his or her email, Sarf wants to know, how can I make a good DQXQ team with the following box as shown in front of you? Well, I have selected your monsters, and I have made 5 teams, along with some situational subs for the latter, and let's just see how it goes. The first team I made is DQXQ, Valk, GP Valk, Sunquan, and Echidna. Out of all the monsters in your box, this has to be the standard for a DQXQ team. You have 4 colors covered, so that means you can get hearts with any of them, which is pretty good. You have 4 orb changers in the forms of 2 Valks and 2 DQXQs, if you plan on leading with both. And you have 2 delays and a burst in Sunquan. This setup is very useful for specific dungeons where you need a lot of burst and a lot of delays, just so you can whittle down the boss or bosses without suffering maximum damage. The only problem I would see with this team is if the monsters are not max skilled. So if they aren't, please get to max skilling them. I'll leave a list for you. It should appear somewhere in the video where all the monsters are skilled up, just so you can refer to this video. And yeah, there's that. And now we have our second team of DQXQ, Valkyrie, Angelion, King Shiny, and Echidna. In this team, Valkyrie can be interchangeable with Chibi Valkyrie if you want the extra damage. But overall, this is a strong light focused team, and you can produce a lot more light orbs with Angelion and Valk if they are max skilled or relatively close to max skilled. And instead of Sunquan's 2 times burst, you have King Shiny's 3 times burst. So with double DQXQ and King Shiny, you will be dealing 48 times damage. That is a lot of damage. So nothing more to say here. It's absolute powerhouse. But like before, skill ups are needed, and getting skill ups for King Shiny is an absolute pain because only King Shiny can seal itself up. I'm pretty sure you can farm King Gold Dragons in King of the Gods if you want to, or some other dungeon, I forget. But I mean, super golds also work, and I think regular golds as well, because you have 7 floors. But do it on a 2 times king rate, I guess. Anyway, on to Team 3. We have DQXQ, Supergirl, Valkyrie, Angel, and Echidna. Once again, the Valks are interchangeable. Now, Supergirl is a interesting aspect of this team, because she gives a lot more light and water orbs, but at the same time removes your rows on either side. The vertical rows on the furthest side of the board. So you need to manage your wood and fire orbs properly in order to use Supergirl. And with Supergirl, you get a little more HP, which allows you to take more hits. And Angel, Messenger, I don't know the full name, but Angel's active skill Cure removes 2 binds, very useful, and if fully awoken, gives 1k auto heal and 3 turns bind removal. That is pretty impressive in my book. I would strongly suggest that you fully awaken her, because in your box she's not fully awakened. And I don't know what plus stage she has, so I just left it at 0. So, there. As a whole, this team can work as, once again, skill-ups are necessary. On to Team 4. We have DQXQ, Ra, Echidna, Valk, and Sunquan. In this instance, Valks are interchangeable, and King Shiny and Sunquan are interchangeable. But overall, it's just like Team 1 and Team 2. Well, mostly Team 2, except no, Team 1. Sorry, it's more like Team 1, except you just have a defense break. This skill can be very useful in certain dungeons, like Hera Ore, for instance. If you if you need to get past the Ifrit's defense, or if you need to get past Oman or Astaroth and Beelzebub Descendant. All in all, very useful team. Team 5, we have DQXQ, Heaven Neptune, Valkyrie Rose, Echidna, and Verche. Now this is a god-focused team, and if you ever manage to get an Izanagi, I strongly suggest you replace Heaven Neptune with Izanagi, but Heaven Neptune does serve a purpose. He poisons all enemies, which can be very useful in dealing damage over time. He gives 1.5 times attack to all god, pretty low, but it's pretty useful. And he can resist poison and is unbindable. So for a dungeon like Beelzebub, Neptune is your guy. God Valk is pretty much required for this team to work in order to get the maximum damage output from all god types. And I think you may or may not have the green or yellow jewels. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you just so happen to have them, save them for God Valk, because God Valk is a necessity for this team. And with the God Valk, you can use it in combination with Verche if you need to get a full board of predominant light, but this only works if you have an ample amount of water, green, and red orbs to work with. And now, with all 5 teams covered, let's get on to the situational subs. First up, we have Top Droid Dragon. I see him more not just as a green sub, but more as a poison jammer resist deck. So if you have a dungeon with a lot of poison with a lot of jammers at the same time, for instance, Hera Sawilo against Chaos Baron, this is your sub, if you so happen to have him. But I'm pretty sure you can. Poison jammer stick, remember that. Next up, we have Ball. He gives 2 skill boosts and 2 light rows, very useful for a road team, for a DQXQ road team, but he does get rid of water orbs, so with Ball you have to manage your orbs wisely, and he does give that extra dark sub attribute, so you can get away with the full rainbow team. Amaterasu is an interesting sub because 1. She's unbindable, 2. Her active skill not only heals you to full, but it removes all binds for any amount of turns. This is very useful if you want to, say, escape Baby Tama, or just get rid of binds in general. However, her skill ups can be a bit painful to get in the forms of Yatagarasu from the Paladin Machine, or Shy P from the alternate coin dungeons, both of which are a pain to get. So if you plan skilling her up, good luck. Cinderella, god typing, very useful for a god-focused DQXQ team, but like Ball, she changes water to a different orb, so orb management is a must here. Next up, we have Wukong. Now he changes water and dark to light and heart, so you still have 4 elements to work with, or this time 3 elements and a heart. So all you have to do is just really keep a count on how many dark orbs you have in order to make this work, as well as how many wood and fire orbs you have. Next up, we have the Heras. Now, this may seem quite strange, but the Heras are of a niche use. So if your DQXQ team isn't up to snuff, but you can tackle on a dungeon no problem, take Hera with you to make the battle a lot more easy. Excuse me. But as all gravities, you have to skill them up. So have fun with that, I guess. Easily farmed up in the Hera Descent, in the Hera dungeon once you beat King of Gods. So if you haven't already beat King of Gods, you're gonna need it, trust me. Next up we have Astaroth. Now she works the same as Ball. She provides 2 skill ups and 2 wood rolls, although they mostly work for herself. But she changes fire to wood, so like Ball, orb management is key. Next up we have Lightning Holy Dragon. I suggest you ultimate evolve it so you can get the healer subtype and just plop it onto a healer team and just wreck. It has pretty decent stats for a dragon healer type and changes water to light, so if you just don't want to use Wukong on your team for whatever reason, Lightning Holy Dragon is your guy. And finally, 10th Angel. He acts more as a dark typing for Raw if you don't want to use Raw, or you have all the types but you just can't use Raw in the dungeon. Bring 10th Angel. He targets 1 enemy instead of 3, so unless you have like 1 enemy unless you have like 1 high defense enemy, or you know you can survive 3 high defense enemies, go for it. And that is it for the main aspect of Sarf's request for a DQXQ team. Thank you guys for watching my first box review video. I know it's a bit long-winded, I need to practice. This is like my 4th attempt recording this because I stumbled a lot, but I think it went out pretty well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.